Tactical Command, this is SORT. We are inbound, on final approach. I say again, on final.
More importantly, welcome to the Special Operations Response Team Rappelling Demonstration, our final show of the fair. If you would please direct your attention to the first deck. Please give a warm welcome to your host for tonight's show, Sergeant Eric, the Irish Hand Grenade Osborne!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nightcap Show for the 18th and final day of the great New York State Fair. Really appreciate you guys coming out to our 48th appearance for the fair. We're hoping to nail it this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are SORT. SORT is the tactical team for the New York State Police. As such, we conduct all those operations that you would expect a SWAT team to conduct, to include drug raids, barricaded subjects, hostage situations, high-risk felony warrants, and dignitary protection. However, we also perform a few tasks you wouldn't necessarily associate with a SWAT team, such as search and rescue, to include high-angle rappelling and rope rescue, which is what we're going to demonstrate here today. So without further ado, let's bring the guys down and introduce them. Up on the left side of the tower, hailing from Utica, New York, the land of tomato pie and chicken riggies, Trooper Matt the Laser Phaser. And on the right side of the tower, coincidentally also hailing from Utica, New York, the land of Utica greens and the pusty, Trooper Chris the Big Salmon Swenton. Down here on the ropes, direct from division headquarters, sporting his tactical black multi-cam Chuck Taylors. Very nice, D. Sergeant Derek the Duke Surza. Up at that top window, spinning our beats, fresh off his European tour where he played clubs from Milan to Minsk. He's available for birthdays, bar mitzvahs, and of course, bachelorette parties. Trooper Brian DJ DeRossi. On the left side of the tower, you have the team's certified daredevil extraordinaire, troop and motocross champion, Trooper Scott Hot Rod Usmail. And on the right side of the tower, he has mastered every discipline within the tactical realm. However, as a true Renaissance man, he is also the team's Cobbler, Sawyer, and Taylor. As a matter of fact, 2 fairs ago, all his time off was spent at the hotel sewing 3 bridesmaids' dresses for his sister's wedding. True story, ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Brian Stitch Ordway. Oh, silky smooth, sliding in. Folks, while they climb back up, I'm going to go over a little bit about what it takes to become a member of SORT. First off, you have to be a trooper for a minimum of 2 years. Quite the process in and of itself. After that, periodically we put out training announcements. If you feel you may have what it takes, you can put in for a tryout. If your chain of command agrees, then you get sent to that 3-day tryout. If you successfully complete it, you go to a 2-week selection. If you make it through that 2-week selection, you may or may not be selected to go to the 6-month school. Our attrition rate is over 80%. Out of that 6-month school, 3 weeks of it is spent doing rope work. We do basic rappelling, we do rescue work, raising and lowering systems, getting injured people out of precarious situations. We also do helicopter operations, where we do hoist work, fast rope like we demonstrated at the very beginning, and rappel from elevations up to 4 times higher than this tower. Each one of these guys has an issued harness. On the front of that harness, you're going to see a piece of equipment. That's a figure 8. That's what the rope is fed through. That top hand on the rope is just a guide hand, just meant to keep us upright. The one back here by our hip, that's the moneymaker, that's the brake hand. As you take it away from your hip, it allows the rope to freely flow through the device. That's when we let gravity do its job, and we refer to that as letting her eat. Once we bring it back to our hip, it puts friction on that device, slowing and eventually stopping us. But telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So if you look all the way up top, we got Matt and Chris who are going to come on down and demonstrate. All right, you saw them throw themselves off that platform. Hand came out, rope fed through. As they approach that roof, they just feather the brake and land nice and gently. Perfect. However, as the fairs progress, a couple things happen. Number 1, the guys like to entertain themselves, and that equals velocity. Number 2, these ropes get furry, they develop loops, and they develop twists. If you're coming down, you're really letting her eat, and you got that hand open a little bit more than you should, and one of those loops hits your glove, that rope can pop out of your hand. You lose your brakes on a thruway, that's a bad day on the road, right? You lose our brakes up here, that's a bad day on the ropes. But that's what brings me to Sergeant Surza. He's not trying to be rude or antisocial. He's not showing you his back just to showcase his well-defined lats and traps. I gotta hit the infirmary, get you a Band-Aid, brother, because you are cut. Thanks, all right, maybe next year, who knows, we'll see. As our senior team guy and our ropes guru, he has the oh-so important yet not at all glamorous job of rope safety or belayment. If one of those guys coming down loses their brake hand, he's gonna pull on that rope, putting friction on their device, slowing, and hopefully stopping them. But again, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So to help me demonstrate, one of these guys is gonna do me a favor. They're gonna take a couple steps back, they're gonna get a running start, and they're gonna throw themselves off of that building with no hands on the rope. They're gonna come hurtling towards Earth at an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second, till at the very last moment, Sergeant Surza, if he is physically able, and so inclined, will use his cat-like reflexes and raw power to engage that belay, stopping that trooper mere moments away from certain death, or at least a sprained ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, you paid for your whole seat. You're only gonna need the edge. This part's gonna be awesome. Who's going? You guys are killing me. I built it all up. Guys, you're killing the night crowd. Last show, grand finale. Let's figure it out, all right? Figure it out like gentlemen. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Paper beats rock every time. That's the mature way to handle things. All right, well, Chris comes down like a gentleman. Let's go ahead and hear it from Matt, who just got voluntold. So now, like I said, Matt's gonna take a couple steps back. He's gonna get a running start, throw himself right off of that roof, screaming towards terminal velocity or early retirement, to be determined. And at the last second, we'll engage that belay, saving him for a horrific fate. You ready, Matt? You look pumped, bro. Stay loose. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What's the matter, bro? Derek, what are you doing, bud? Is that, you can put in a parking brake on it? These are good parents. You can tell they got the baby out of the, it is weighted down. It's got a ballast here with water. Appears to be a unicorn in there. That'll be fine. That's quite the knot you got tied off right there. So I think we're good right there. It seems to be giving a little bit. Hey, easy does it. All right. That'll be just fine. Hey, kids, if you want, at some point, just pull on this, and when he jumps, he'll be just fine, all right? Like on the first bounce or the second bounce, he's gonna be A-okay. What do you say, Matt? You ready to roll? What's that? He activated the parking brakes. It's gonna be just fine. Best on the market, it's Coldcraft. Yeah, outstanding. Okay. As a police officer, I'm supposed to be able to pick up on body language. That's not promising. D. You want to help out? Or like just do your job again? Again, I know 48 times. Actually, you've been in and out. He started this fair with a delay success rate of 72%. At this point, 64% of the time, it works every time. You ready, bro? All right, I think he's ready to go. Matt, you ready? Derek's back on the belay. You got any other control measures you want to put in place? Oh, nice, the Mary Poppins approach. Folks, between the two of them, let's give a little encouragement, all right? A little bit of energy. Help me count them down from 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, outstanding. I cut that one a little bit close. Very nice. We can hold them up there all day, too. And for allowing us to use your state-of-the-art braking system, you have 1 state police bear available from the PBA tent for purchase. Let's hear it for our belay team. We're not going to bring that umbrella home? Still good. All right, folks, you can tell out here, it's easy to get into a bad, twisted up spot. Gravity doesn't take an instant off. But if you end up in an untenable position, as long as you keep your cool, as long as you keep your head, and most importantly, as long as you keep your brake hand, you're going to be okay. So if you look up top, we got Scott and Ryan who are going to come on down and demonstrate. All right, you saw those guys come down in that same standard seated hip rappel that everyone else has been coming down. But now they're going to go ahead and transition their brake hand from their right to their left. This is going to allow our guys to go ahead and invert. So now, even though they're upside down, as long as they maintain that newfound brake hand, they're not going to smash face first in this beautifully manicured landscaping. This is what we call the Commando Crawl. It allows our guys to see where they're going before they present their feet or other body parts through a window. But once they've gone far enough and seen all they need to see, they can go ahead and revert, reassume that brake hand, and come on down. Ladies and gentlemen, the invert. Folks are going to pick up on a reoccurring theme out here, and that's safety. We're dealing with heights, we're dealing with extreme angles, we're dealing with hard and sharp edges. It's inherently dangerous. If somebody is rappelling, rock climbing, or even hiking, they could become injured or end up stranded in a position where they can go neither up nor down. We have to have the means to get to them. Ladders aren't necessarily going to reach high enough, and helicopters can be counterproductive. Those rotors don't do our ropes any favors, if you know what I'm saying. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Matt who's going to come down and start this demonstration. All right, say Matt's working his way down a sheer cliff face in the Adirondack Park, or perhaps Ithaca, because it is gorgeous. He gets himself to a spot he wants to be for a while. He's going to grab that rope, wrap it around his 8. Not once, not twice, but thrice. This is the tie-off. Once Matt's tied off, he can go hands-free. He can literally and figuratively hang out. He can get his cell phone out, snap a selfie, post it to his MySpace page. Anyone else still run a MySpace? Now that explains my friend amount. All right. But say he's hanging out there enjoying himself and a rock kicks loose and hits him in the head. At this point, we're going to need a little audience participation. Any kids want to come forward to help out? There you go. Don't worry about raising your hand, guys. School hasn't started yet. See that rope in front of you? They're there for your safety? Ignore it. Come on out. Come on out, guys. Come on out. Don't be bashful. I don't know how many we have. Not a whole lot. But grab a water balloon, close with, and destroy. Go get them, guys. Fake shot. This is the most brutal. Oh, I'm trying to get fancy in one hand. Right on the backside. Grand finale. Oh, folks, let's hear it for our rocks. Thanks, guys. Last show we ran out. Derek, next year, lawn darts. Don't have to fill them up in between shows. Every kid gets a chance. Just got to wipe them off. All right, so Matt's been knocked unconscious, but we can't leave him up there. We've got a lot of time and money invested in him, and we've actually grown somewhat attached to him. So if you look all the way up top, you remember Big Salmon. That's Chris. Chris is going to work his way down his line. He's going to latch hands on Matt, and he's going to hopefully bring them both down to safety. You good, Chris? Come on down, brother. Okay. We choose all our own music out here. It's a bold choice for Chris, obviously comfortable in his own skin. What's up, Chris? This is your musical selection, is it not? You don't think so? Matt seems to be enjoying it. A little too much indeed. Why don't you just come on down, though? Let's get this over with. Are you serious? DJ DeRoshi, our tactical diva's not coming down to this. He says it's the last day of the show. He needs something more exciting. Okay, I think DJ DeRoshi's got you, Chris. Let's see what he spins up. He's settled on that one. He loves that one. His repertoire is unreal. Chris loves the Weather Girls. He has all of their albums. As Chris comes down, you're going to notice he has a different piece of equipment on the front of his harness. Chris isn't running an 8 anymore. He's running what's called a brake bar rack. That allows him to put additional weight onto his system. That additional weight, in this case, is going to be Matt. Chris gets to a position slightly above Matt and performs a tie-off before he gets to work. Then he grabs that blue strap on his left side. That's called a pick-off strap. It's designed specifically for rope rescue. Partial inversion and his impressive wingspan allow him to hook in to Matt's harness. Once he's hooked in, Chris will use that pick-off strap in his bulging biceps and he somehow shoehorns into an extra medium t-shirt. Large? Not in the men's section, it's not. As he pulls Matt up, you'll see how Matt instinctively reaches for Chris's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we ask no photos be taken. Thank you. You see how Matt's line has gone slack, an indication that his weight has been removed. Now Chris is working to secure Matt's hardware and completely free him from his line. Now Chris will undo his tie-off and hopefully lower them both safely to the ground. Looks like he nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the pick-off. You guys are silly. All right, folks, we showed you basic rappelling. We showed you the safety measures we have in place. We showed you a very small percentage of the rope rescue work that we are capable of. However, there's also a tactical application to the rope work we're demonstrating here for today. Say, for example, if they're a bad guy creeping around these fairgrounds, he snatches up a kid, runs up into this building, barricades the door shut. Horrible choice of location on his part, but I digress. He's got that door nailed shut and he feels real comfortable that we're not going to be able to make entry. But unfortunately for that bad guy, Special Operations Response Team doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. But before we do, we count on all of our partners. The men and women that you see walking around the fairground, the gray uniform and the Stetsons, those are the road troopers. They're the first responders running into these chaotic scenes, securing people, getting them to safety, oftentimes by themselves. They contain the incident, then they call supervisors, investigators, negotiators, and our other partners in special operations, even our friendly rivals, the K-9 handlers. They do outstanding work, and several of their handlers, as well as several of our operators, are trained to operate drones, just like the one you hear flying above you today. Those give us real-time actionable intelligence without exposing our members to danger. However, whenever we deal with technology, we trust but verify. There is no substitute for the human eye. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Ryan ready to run the recon. Ryan lands ever so gently on that roof so as not to notify anybody. Works into a Commando Crawl and starts checking those windows for hostage and hostage takers. Oh, it appears to be a guard dog of some sort. Hopefully it does not notify the home. Oh my goodness! Ryan, get out of there. That is not our target. Oh, he's gone to the fetal position. That's a bad sign. My goodness. Ryan, I am sorry. Call me. Swipe left, bro. Get out of there. Swipe left. I know. There is a guy with a knife somewhere. You got to find him. That was not our target. We have counselors available after traumatic events. Big Ryan will be cashing in on that. Now he's got eyes in that bottom window. He's confirming what you folks saw. Hostage and hostage taker in there. Ryan's reaching up on the back of his harness for that canister. That's a noise flash diversion device, commonly referred to as a flashbang. That's going to emit a bright light and loud noise that distracts and disorients the suspect while he sees the initiative. It looks like Ryan's ready to deploy the bang, and it looks like we're ready for Scott to effect the rescue. Scotty's in the window. He can't find the bad guy. Uh-oh, he's got the drop on him. Oh, outstanding. And that disarms him. And the elbow drop. Now he's just going to take him into custody, and we'll be, oh, no, no, no! Oh. Folks, I am very, no, do not cheer that. I am sorry you had to witness that clear violation of New York State Police policy and procedures. Scotty, outstanding job disarming him. Oh, the champion. He is the champion. Very nice. But unfortunately, rules and regs do not allow you to throw a pedophile out of a second-story window. No, folks, the manual clearly states it must be the 3rd floor or higher. Second floor is not getting it done, you know what I'm saying? Scotty, how's that kid doing? He's all right? You already got him out. He's got Timmy, and Timmy won the belt. Folks, let's hear it for Scotty. Great work. Folks, hopefully you can tell we have a good time out here. We love interacting with you good people working on this awesome tower. It represents a real nice break for us. However, at the end of the day, it is a serious business we're involved in. If you look along that roof line, we have 4 sets of numbers. Those are the shield numbers for Michael Strank, Ross Riley, David Brinkerhoff, and Joseph Longobardo. Those 4 men were operators on our team who died in the line of duty. They made the ultimate sacrifice serving the people of the state of New York, and we think it's those guys that deserve a real round of applause tonight. Folks, you've been an outstanding crowd. We appreciate you squinting into the sun to enjoy this. Feel free to approach us after the show. We'll pose for pictures, answer questions. I think we're out of stickers. Make sure to hit up the PBA, the Trooper Foundation, for your state police swag. You got a museum and displays. They're going to be open for a little while longer. It is our esteemed honor to be the last show here at the exhibit. So as far as we're done, as far as the exhibit's concerned, we are a wrap. But the troopers out there are still working. Let them know you appreciate them. Again, thanks for coming out, and have a great night at the Great New York State Fair.
You can let it roll.